That's pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty much Double Dragon 3. Again, you're looking for the girl. The girl has a lot to do with it. It's a big part of the story. And it's interesting though, like it shows you the evolution of video games because like nowadays you see a lot of female protagonists, like you see it like in Horizon Zero Dawn or even like The Last of Us 2. But back then, I don't want to call it stereotyping, but you know, it was like traditional, like the man saves the girl. And this is a good example of that. For nowadays, it's more female power, if you want to call it that. But it's, I mean, it's cool. Like if I actually played The Last of Us 2, and that's another game that's getting a lot of slack, and I think that game's fantastic. It's honestly like I understand why it's getting slack, like a lot of negative feedback. Am I rhyming right now? I feel like a rapper. Slack feedback. I'm like rhyming right now. But yeah, so. But I feel like you know, I'm just making a general point that back then it's like traditional, you're saving a woman, and nowadays there's a lot of games that have like female protagonists, which is awesome. Like, believe it or not, one of my favorite games for the PS4 was Horizon Zero Dawn, and I know they announced a new one, and I can't wait for that game to come out. Oh snap! Okay, yeah, this game is like second nature to me. I can pretty much talk and kick some butt only because I played this game like a lot when I was a kid, and a lot of it's still there. You know, I still have a lot of the skill. Oh, I can't believe I didn't get hit right there. A lot of the skills are still there. The only complaint I have about I'm playing this on the PS4. The only complaint I have is that the A and or the circle and X button are kind of separated on the newer gen consoles, the controls. Where like the original one, I felt like the buttons were closer, so it's kind of easier. Like if you want to do a jump, for example, in this game, you have to hold both buttons simultaneously at the same time. Press them at the same time. Not hold them, but press them at the same time, and then you can do a jump kick. So on the PlayStation, the button. Oh look, I'm still kicking ass. I'm not even paying attention. On the PlayStation, they're kind of separated, so it's a little bit harder, trickier to get the jump kick, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Nothing a true Double Dragon fighter like myself can't take care of. So the goal is to actually try to beat this game one playthrough. We'll see how that works out. There's only a couple of parts that I can think of that will prevent me from doing that, but this game for me is not too hard. Overall, I'm pretty good at it, as you can see. Kicking some major ass of these thugs. But there's a couple of parts that are tricky, and I hope that I have to come up with a strategy. If I don't have a good strategy, I'm gonna get killed. So as long as I have a good strategy and I execute it, I should be fine. But there's like two main parts that I can think of that will ruin my perfect playthrough. Hey, isn't that a nice theme? Oh, my perfect playthrough. I like the way that sounds. My perfect playthrough. Alright. I like to do this. 1, 2... Oh, wait. Hold on. Check this out. 1, 2, 3. Boom! And then you finish out with the kick. So, like, this game, the reason I like it a lot is because I feel like it has really good gameplay. I feel like, I know that... I feel like the developers took it up a notch on this one compared to Part 2. Part 2 was fantastic, and I think it's great, right? Arguably longer than Part 3. I think Part 3 is kind of on the short side. It's like a very basic story. And I understand why most people would prefer Part 2, but for whatever reason, man, and I think a lot of it might be nostalgia, I really like this game a lot. I think this game is so good. So good. And it's the gameplay, like, you can jump off walls and jump kick. His style, like, okay, I'll tell you what I was thinking when I was a kid. You see, like, the fighting style, it looks a little bit different than, like, the previous games. Just his style, like, his stance. What I mean by that is his fighting stance. And for me, as a kid, I remember thinking, wow, like, they've evolved, like, from Part 2, after winning this crazy battle in Part 2, defeating the Shadow Masters, or the Shadow Warriors, I'm sorry. They have a new style that's even more evolved than previously. So that's what I remember thinking. But in reality, I think maybe the developers were just looking for something fresh and something different. Like different animations, different stance. But for me as a kid, I remember thinking, wow, they really evolved. Like, they're so much better than before. That's why they have a new stance. I missed the sweeper. I call it the sweeper, even though it's a spinning kick. It's a very effective move in this game. If you want to be good at Double Dragon, oh, I just got hit hard right there. Yeah, if you want to be good at this game, you gotta learn how to do that sweeper. Because you have one guy on the left, one guy on the right. Oh, I just missed him. You have to learn how to do that sweeper kicker. There we go. Got that guy, and I got you as well, you son of a gun. Where's my lunch money? Give me my lunch money. You know what's so funny? I think about lunch money, right? I think about high school. For whatever reason, I have no one to blame but myself. I never ate lunch. Like, I look back and I'm like, what the hell? As an adult, you know, especially as an adult, you have to, you kind of learn to make the most out of your money. And I remember as a kid, like, for whatever reason, I just refused to eat at lunch. And I look back and I'm like, man, why the hell did your parents even buy you those tickets? Because, you know, back then, I don't know how it is now, but you had to have a ticket to get food, like cafeteria food, and you had to wait in line. And for me, I think what it was, I was kind of prideful. I'm not gonna wait in line. I was a baseball player, and actually as a baseball player, even more reason to like have a good diet and good nutrition. I look, you know, the stupid things you do as a kid. You know, I thought I was a double dragon essentially. I thought I was unstoppable, but in fact I wasn't. Yeah, and yeah. So kids, don't waste your food. Eat it. Your parents will love you for it. You know, because shit ain't free. Shit ain't free. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You learn a lot here watching the Omeglio streams. You learn a lot. Okay, so see, another thing I like about this game is just the variety. Like I said, you know, the gameplay. Really, it's the gameplay. It's like out of all the Double Dragons, this is the one that I feel I most relate to. The one that I most enjoy. I find myself enjoying the most. Even though, of course, Part 2 is legendary. Part 1 was kind of an RPG because you get to level up your character, and the more points you get, you actually unlock moves. So it's kind of a, believe it or not, it's weird that I say this, but it's kind of like an RPG fighting game in a sense. Part 1, which it was different than the arcade. The arcade was just like bigger sprites, like these, like from my memory banks, like amazing hit shots, like like that's the thing. Like back then, that was like awesome. Like hearing the was like where it was at. As a little kid, you hit the, you know, the arcade, and you're like, that's like, oh man, like that's like nostalgia for me right there. And you know, this game, for what it is, for an NES game, it has pretty good sounds too. Like that pretty much means I got hit pretty hard. Yeah, even the little thump right there, that it sounds good. They did a good job for what they had. I mean, this is 8 bits, you know, this is not like a arcade game of the 80s or 90s. Oh, snappity. Got that guy and got him again. Oh, I just missed him. So this guy, in case you're wondering, the backstory of this guy, he's actually the brother of one of the guys that apparently you killed in Part 1. I think his name is Chen. He's like a dangerous fighter that comes out in Part 1. He has like long hair, almost like an afro. And then he hits you like with these like claw, I guess you want to call it. Or like, what do you call it? Like the back of your palm strikes. There you go. So he's the brother, and he's like pissed that you killed his brother, so he wants revenge. But after you whooped his ass, he's like, hey, can I join you? Because like I just been humbled. Can I join you on this worldwide expedition to whoop some ass? And you're like, of course you can. Just don't try that shit again. So yeah, like again, like one of the things I like about this, and I talk about gameplay, is just like the counter system too. Like right now, I just did it right now where they try to hurt me, and I did like a spinning attack. That was like a nice counter. Look at that. So a lot of it is like, in this game, the way it works is, not only are you worried about that individual guy that you're fighting, but you have to think about the next guy, like in line. And once, like I was playing this and I was just in the zone, man. I was in rhythm. Like you always have to think about the guy. Like for example, the guy behind me. Don't just think about fighting one guy. Think about the other guy as well, like on where he's at. You know, and because he's gonna attack you from behind. So that's why you have this, which is like, if you didn't have that move, this game would be so much harder. Like, not even kidding. Like, this game would be a lot harder if you didn't have this. Thank you, Double Dragon gods. Or, I don't believe in, yeah. Not that I'm trying to get religious on you guys, but I believe in one God, and I'll leave it at that. I think you guys know the rest. Oh snap! I just got, yes, there we go. Boom! That's another thing I love about it. You can kick him, and then you finish him off with like a, not an elbow, but it's almost a hook. It's weird. Okay, this part is one of them that I'm not gonna die on, but I could take some damage. That wasn't too bad. I think I might have just lost the bar right there. Not that bad at all. So then again, you gotta think about, don't just think about fighting one guy, but think about like where the other guy is at all times, and think about how you're gonna deal with both, not just one. Because that's really what this game comes down to, is being able to kind of multitask. Think about more than one opponent. Which, you know, I'm happy that I'm actually talking about that, because in real life it actually applies. And as I was playing this game, it kind of became evident, because I've always been into martial arts in like real life, and I was thinking about it, right? Like, I was watching this YouTube video that talks about like the most dangerous martial arts in the world, or like the most effective martial arts. And I forgot the name of the channel, guys. Like, I can't remember, but he was pretty much saying that like he was like ranking the martial arts, right? And he had like Jeet Kune Do, which is actually Bruce Lee's martial art. That's the one that he invented himself. That was one of them. That was an option. Like, in other words, like, what's the most effective martial art out there? And he was ranking them, right? Even Muay Thai, Jeet Kune Do, Taekwondo, Karate, Aikido. I think even, I'm not sure about Hapkido. Hapkido, I think, comes from Aikido. I think it's Japanese. But anyways, you know, all these different martial arts. And in the end, he had like, he didn't rate any, he had like from A to I'm sorry, from S. S was like perfect. S through like F or D. I think it was D. Or E, or, you know, I forget. But anyways, he had this order. And Jiu-Jitsu was up there. I think Jiu-Jitsu got like an A. So Jiu-Jitsu is like, you know, like it's like a grappling submission style of fighting. And if you know anything about MMA, you know that in the early UFCs, Jiu-Jitsu proved its effectiveness, and it's pretty much changed the world, because a lot of people now practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Because I should point out that Jiu-Jitsu is actually originated in Japan, but it got taken to a whole different level with the Brazilians, where they adopted the name Jiu-Jitsu, but really it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because they're the ones that invented the whole grappling aspect of it, thanks to Helio Gracie, or Helio, I'm sorry. And pretty much revolutionized martial arts forever. So I was thinking to myself, like, in a street fight like this, right? What would be the most effective martial art? Well, as much as I love Jiu-Jitsu, I don't think it would be effective against multiple attackers. Because as I was talking about earlier, you want to be able to always think about the next guy. And in a Jiu-Jitsu fight, you're pretty much just, it's one-on-one. So in a one-on-one scenario, yes, you're going to neutralize your opponent and take away a lot of the kinetic energy that he has, aka, you know, knocking you the hell out with a punch or a kick. But okay, check this out. I have a strategy against this guy. Check this out. By the way, if I die, which I am kind of low on health, Chin will take over for me. So the way to beat this guy, guys, is don't fight him head on. Like, move up and down vertically, up and down. Don't fight him head on. He'll do a lot of damage to you. Oh snap! See what that's what I'm talking about. Fight him a little bit at a distance too. I have that luxury because I have the nunchucks. So after that, check this out. And then one spin kick, that should do it. One spin kick, if I can land it. If I can land one spin kick, that's gonna do it. That's it, I did it. So it's basically 5 nunchucks and 1 spin kick, and he's done. That's the secret to beating him. So one thing that you notice about this game that really takes it to the next level, because it's kind of loosely based on the arcade. In the arcade, you could actually buy a little bit like an RPG. You could go to the store and buy upgrades. And this was actually an arcade game. But in this game, they kind of borrowed the element of having a weapon, but you can, like the nunchucks, or different characters have their own weapon, but you can't upgrade it. So, okay, so this is Italy. I'm debating if I should change my character, although I like playing as Billy. I love playing as Billy. I wonder if you can play as Jimmy. I'm not sure. I don't think it gives you that option. Only if you have 2 players, but it'd be kind of cool if they gave you the option. As far as I know, you can only pick Billy from the beginning. So going back to it, guys, I'm sorry, I was kind of rambling off. Like, what's the most effective martial art? Right off the bat, in a street fight, I would say, and I thought about it playing this game. In a street fight where you have multiple attackers, I wouldn't say Jiu-Jitsu is the best martial art, because Jiu-Jitsu, you'll neutralize one opponent, but what are you gonna do with the other guy kicking you in the back of the head? Like this game, for example, even though it's 8-bit and it's super cheesy, think about it. Like, if you have multiple attackers, how are you going to deal with that? That's the question, right? Because it's a legitimate question. And I talked about this game, how if you learn anything, you learn about how to deal with more than one attacker. So you're not only thinking about the one guy in front of you, but you're thinking about the other guy, like the guy that's going to try to cheap shot you in the back of the head. See, like, I'm worrying about 2 attackers. So that's kind of what this game, like, makes me think about. That's why I love it. Even as a kid, right? You think about, like, how to handle more than one opponent. And, so for that aspect, Jiu-Jitsu right off the bat, I would eliminate it. I don't think that it's the most effective in a street fight. I would say, and this is kind of what the guy was saying, and I kind of agree with him. In a street fight, strictly speaking street fight, I would say, believe it or not, and you guys are might debate me on this. If you have, because again, in a street fight, anything goes, man. It might start off one-on-one, and then what if his buddy just gets mad and decides to attack you for no apparent reason, right? Well, then you better know more than jiu-jitsu, because you're going to be exposed. Because this guy's going to just attack you while you're on the ground submitting his friend. So I would say, in a real-life street fight, believe it or not, something like boxing. Boxing would go a long way. Now, why do I say that? Because, like, if you're a really good boxer, let's say you've been boxing for a year plus, and you're pretty dedicated, you know, you go to the gym, and you hit the bags, and you're pretty dedicated, so you're a pretty, like, legit boxer, you can handle your own pretty well. That would actually help you more in a street fight than jiu-jitsu. Even though jiu-jitsu is widely acclaimed as possibly the best martial art. For the longest time, you know, that's what we hear in the media, UFC, oh, it's the best martial art. And don't get me wrong, I love jiu-jitsu. I love Rickson Gracie. I love the Gracie family. I would never disrespect them. I'm just being practical. I'm being honest. And even something like this, it becomes evident where you think, wow, like, which martial art is the best? Like, especially in a scenario where you have more than multiple attackers. I'm getting my ass whooped, by the way. I would say jiu-jitsu, one-on-one, absolutely. But when you have more than one in a street fight, you can't just rely on one-on-one. You know, it might be more than one. I would say boxing, because as a boxer, if you're a good boxer, you can actually take down 5 guys. Like, let's say 5 guys that aren't necessarily boxers, but they're starting some shit with you. You could actually knock out all of them, like, one by one. You could. It's not... It's possible, but you cannot do that with jiu-jitsu. You cannot, like, submit 5 guys at once. You know what I'm saying? So, in all practicality and in all honesty, like, boxing would be probably your best bet in a real-life street fight. And then I would, believe it or not, okay, so what would be above boxing? Boxing is great, but what I would put, like, as a complete, like, if you want to be a complete fighter, and again, this Double Dragon brings that out of me. I start thinking about fighting and self-defense. Shenmue too, I love Shenmue. I would say, like, something like Muay Thai, because, oh man, not only do you have the hands and you can knock out 5 guys, but you also have the feet. So that if for whatever reason, if this guy is like a good stand-up fighter himself, you're not gonna have your 2 hands. You're gonna have 2 more weapons: your legs and your knees and your elbows. So it's gonna be more than just your hands and your fists. So I would actually say that, like, really, like, I would probably go with, like, boxing's very important. Like, if you had to learn a minimum, right? Boxing's up there. But even better than boxing, I would probably put Muay Thai. Probably. The only thing with Muay Thai is that it also emphasizes the clinch, like when you start, you know, doing knees and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, it's kind of a shorter distance. Where boxing, you're far and then you close the distance. That's why I'm thinking boxing might be the way to go. But, you know, I think, like, either boxing or Muay Thai is the way to go. Because in Muay Thai, not only do you have the hands, but you also have the legs and you know, everything. I was gonna say thighs. I don't think you use your thighs. Let's go with nunchucks. This guy is gonna take more than 5 hits, by the way. But yeah, you know, for whatever reason, when I was a kid, I was always fascinated with, like, martial arts. Always fascinated with, like, Bruce Lee. Always fascinated with, like, self-defense. I never cared about, like, you know, hurting people or anything like that. It was more about just how to defend yourself, because we live in a cruel world, you know, where sometimes people try to hurt you or your family or a loved one. And I think it's always been important for my mindset to know how to defend yourself. Because if someone's trying to impose their will on you and it's an evil will, it's always good to know how to defend yourself. So what I did right now, which is awesome, is that I changed players because Billy was exhausted after all the guys that he beat. And I did kind of, you know, warm him up for this guy. Okay, so this is pretty much the hardest part of the game. Right here, this is it. And there's one particular section that is the hardest part of the game. So wish me luck, guys. Because one of the reasons this game gets so much shit is because you only have 1 life. Well, technically 3, because you have Chin, the guys that joined you, the ninja, and Billy. I can't remember the ninja's name. But so wish me luck, because this is definitely the hardest part of the game. Okay, I'm actually gonna change players. I'm gonna change. Oh, that was cool. I'm gonna change players. I'm gonna go with I think Billy for now. I'm gonna go with Billy for now. Just because, yeah. See, this is where the jump kicks. Like you have to. If you don't get these jumps perfect, you could also die, and that would be like a cruel death, like a cheesy death. There's not too much involved with this. I mean, this game's old, you know, so it's not like the most sophisticated game. Now, so I'm wondering who I should use right now. Should I stick with Billy? Should I stick with... I'm gonna stick with... you know what? I'm gonna do the ninja guy. I think I'm gonna try that. Hopefully it doesn't backfire on me. I'm gonna try him just for here. Just to get past a couple of opponents. And then we'll see how that goes. Oh, no. Wrong button. That's the thing about this damn game, too. Is like the buttons are all weird on this version of the game. I'm playing this on the PS2. PS4, PS2. I'm playing this on the PS4. Yeah, I'm playing this on the PS2. I don't even think it came out on the PS2. Which is really cool. Like, this game, I found it online on the PlayStation Store, and I was like, wow, they actually have this game. Nice! Look at that, man. The only thing about this guy is that he's a little bit on the weak side. Like, his attacks are a little bit weak for my liking. But he's actually very quick. Like, well, he's quicker because he's a ninja. He's a little bit quicker in his moves, and I still like him a lot. Once you get good with him, you know, you can't go wrong. See, what I did was I went behind. Again, you're always thinking about the next opponent, the one that's coming from behind. And this guy doesn't have a spin kick, so one of the ways to avoid it is to do this jump and then hit him from the back of the knee like that. Oh, no, snap. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Nice. So, yeah, like I said, this game really makes you think about multiple attackers and how do you deal with them at once. Did you notice that? He tried to jump attack me, and I got him with the sword, which is really cool. It covers a lot of ground. Nice. I've always loved this game, man. I think the fact that you can play as a ninja, too. I was a big Shinobi fan as a kid, and Ninja Gaiden. Mostly Shinobi, though, I have to admit. I was always more of a Shinobi guy, because I had Sega as a boy. And I was always a big Shinobi guy. I've always liked Ninja Gaiden, but I mean, looking back at it, and even though Ninja Gaiden games are like cool and they're fun and they're hella challenging, let's face it, the design is pretty like not the best design. You know, it's like they had a lot of cheap deaths just to get you to pull your hair off and be upset at the game. There's a game that I feel like deserves to be in the Angry Video Game Nerd. It would be Ninja Gaiden. Because the design is just like, they have a lot of cheap deaths, if you will. And this game has a couple of cheap deaths. There's actually going to be one coming up right now that like, you really have to know what you're doing. And I have a plan, I have a strategy. You have to have a strategy. If you have a strategy, the rest of the game is still hard. The last boss is hard, but it becomes way more doable. And that's, see how fast he is? He's a ninja. And I just like, I love that. I love the kicks. I love this. Yeah, you also have this kick, just a straight up drop kick. Like, it's good gameplay. And then you have your sword, your kick. What I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm actually going to transfer over to Chin. Because this is the hardest part of the game. Wish me luck, guys. This is the hardest part of the game, guys. I did it! Wow! Wow, I did it! That is not easy. But what I do with Chin, because he's so effective with his palm strikes, he's really strong. He's really OP in this game, which is awesome. He's a little bit slow, but it's trade-off. He's slow, but he's hella strong. And I need him right there in that section, because there's no other character that I could use, like Billy or anyone, or the ninja, that can take care of these guys as fast. See, like those palm strikes are lethal. I think I'm gonna switch. No, I'm gonna keep it with Chin for now. Try to get rid of some of these bad guys. We're almost to the end of the game, by the way. Wish me luck, guys. Yeah, see, those palm strikes are lethal. And then he also has a cute little kick, but it's kind of a because he's so short, his little legs. He's got little legs. He's lethal though, Chin. That's what I'm saying. This game's cool because you have a variety of characters that you can pick, and way more than like part 2. Oh, look at that! You saw that kick? It's like a Mr. Miyagi kick. You guys know who I'm talking about. Got him right there, and then we're gonna do the palm strikes, take care of him, and then whoa! See, he came from behind, right? So look, see how I countered by getting behind him, getting around him, and then focusing on the next guy. So you're always thinking about the next guy, and that's kind of what this game comes down to. Ooh, look at that! This is a Mr. Miyagi kick straight up right there. Oh snap! I'm in trouble! Oh, there you go. I think about like Rocky. Remember that part where he's like, "Get out of there!" I think it's Rocky. What Rocky movie is that? Okay, I'm gonna switch over because I'm taking too much damage. I'm gonna switch over to the ninja, I guess. Let's try the ninja for now. Yeah, Chin took too much damage. Way more than I wanted. That was my fault. I shouldn't have taken that much damage. Normally I don't, but sometimes. That's what I like about this game. You could like, sometimes you could be playing well, and then other times, you know, they get the best of you. Oh, snappity! See, like right there, like I'm trying my best and it's just not landing. There we go. But I think that's what makes this game so good, the gameplay, is that like, you can feel like you're an expert and they can still kick your ass if you're not fully focused. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. You want some of it? Get that boot, baby. Get that boot. Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's still alive. Wow. He's got to be dead right now. Okay, yeah. Talk about little legs. This guy's got some shrimpy legs. Oh, what? I was going to drink the water and I still have the top on. But yeah, we're pretty much at the end of the game, and so check this out. There is little time to lose. Let us enter the room quickly. Why is this guy so like in a rush? Even my my 9-year-old self was asking myself that question. Why is he in a rush? We're gonna find out shortly. Oh, I love that. I love that. Even the hit sounds are cool in this game. Like I have to say, I appreciate them. It's 8-bit glory. See, so like watch, I'll jump behind, boom. Okay, I didn't land it. I didn't land it. So now, whenever you don't land it, you risk getting hit. I'm doing pretty good. This is domination right here. These ninjas are nothing for me, man. I'm the leader of these ninjas. Actually, I think he says something like that. He's like, those ninjas are like child play compared to me. I'm gonna whip your ass. Something along those lines. When you fight him the first time, when you encounter him. Yeah, so far so good, guys. Nice! Right in the face. Oh, shit! See, it's all about timing, man. If your timing is off a little bit, oh, shit, you could pay the damage. Right there, see, right there, I wasn't thinking about the next guy. Oh my god, and he did get me a little bit, and I'm gonna try that kick again. It worked. See, if I didn't do the kick and get in position for the next guy, that's when you get yourself in trouble. So again, I keep saying this, but you have to always be thinking about your next opponent. See, that guy crept up behind me. A lot of beat-em-ups, I've noticed, they usually give you some kind of counter for someone that's behind you, and that's a sign of a good beat-em-up. This game doesn't quite have that, but you do have this, you know, the backward knee, that one, where you could jump behind them. So the gameplay's there. Like, this game, like, remarkable gameplay, and a little bit of skill to do it, because you have to do the A and B button at the same time to jump, and then, you know, do the knee. Or do a kick, and then he'll do the knee. I lied to you. Your friend Brett tried to warn you, but I silenced him. I have the 3-second stones of power. I must get the 4th to control the world. And check this out, guys. It turns out, check this out. But Hiruko didn't know that the entire legend of the Sacred Stones of Power. It says, she who entered the tomb carrying less than all 4 stones will be turned into dust. You see, in her haste to obtain power, Hiruko made a mistake that cost her her life. Oh, that sucks, right? It sucks for her. Now, what I'm going to do, I like to start this with Chin, believe it or not. I think Chin is a good guy to have. He's a little bit slower, but he lands these kicks perfectly. I could also do Billy. You know, to be honest, I think I'm gonna switch to Billy. I think you're right. You're right. I think I'm right. Yeah, Billy's moves quicker and it's easier to get away from him, create distance, so I can keep landing this jump kick. I know it looks terribly boring, but it's terribly effective. So yeah, Chin, if you use him, you walk slower and he can close the distance and really grab you. And at this point, that's what you're trying to avoid. I think, you know, earlier I was talking about martial arts. I think that's what I love about this game is the whole aspect of martial arts, of thinking about how to defend yourself. I kept talking about distance. I kept talking about how to handle multiple attackers and thinking about the next guy. And not only the guy that's in front of you, but thinking ahead of the next attacker. That's why I'm saying in a street fight, I think if you know how to box and you know really how to box, probably one of your best bets, because you could actually knock out like 5 guys. Theoretically, you could actually knock out 5 guys. Where Jiu-Jitsu, you're going to be stuck on one guy, and the other guy could attack you and hit you in the back of the head when you're on the floor. So I feel like, and I think about these things when I'm playing this game, because this game is that good. Like it's so simple, it's 8-bit, but you think about these things, you think about self-defense, and that's why I love it. Of course, I like the moves, I like the weapons, I like the characters that you meet, and those things alone, and maybe nostalgia, are why I prefer this game over Part 2. I think Part 2 is an amazing game. A lot of people prefer that one over this one. But even the music, like this music is like this song, I've always loved this song. And I'm gonna shut up for a few seconds so you guys can take it in. Check it out. Oh shit, I didn't land it. I'm in trouble. Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna go around this way, create some distance, and then land that key. There we go. I basically got the nunchucks out so I could get ready to attack the final boss of the game. There it is. Okay, so again, I'm gonna do as many nunchucks attacks as I can. Guys, I'm getting nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting nervous. Like, this game is it's considered a very hard game, and I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I'm nervous right now. I am so nervous. Like, this is like my childhood. I remember how many times she beat me and how frustrated I was. She's gonna do a little trick, and I'm gonna show you how to avoid it. So far so good. I am beating her ass, but see, notice how I'm creating distance all the time. I'm never fighting her head on. See, I moved. You want to like fight her at a distance. Okay, right here, up and down. That's it. Up and that's all you gotta do. Okay. Oh no. Don't worry, I still have 2 more characters. So I want to do as much damage as I can with Billy. But okay, see, that's the attack that still gives me problems. But I still have plenty of health. I used all my nunchucks on her. So we are looking really, really good. Oh shit, don't. We're looking good, guys. We're actually dominating this fight. Oh my god, complete combo right there. Creating distance. So there you go. Kick. Okay, I got hit. Okay, again, vertical. Up and down, that's all you gotta do. The only one that probably won't be able to... No, I think even Chin can do it. See, up and down. When I was a kid, I used to, Oh no! Okay, I have to switch characters. Someone that's quick. There we go. Okay. There we go. Distance. That's the name of the game, guys. Distance is the name of the game. Okay, we're doing good, guys. We have a good chance of beating her without dying at all. That's my goal. I don't want to die or lose any of my characters. Okay, again, vertical. Straight down. That's how you avoid that. That was when I was a kid. I used to jump left and right, but that's all you gotta do is go vertically, up and down, like this, and she won't ever touch you. And again, right here, just distance, up and down, just like that. Okay, we got her. Okay, again, up and down, just like that. Distance, got the kick. Okay, up and down, up. There we go. Oh, she got me. Up and down. There we go. Okay, ready? Up and down. Barely. God, I might be getting her soon, guys. Okay, ready? Up and down. There we go. She's almost dead, I'm sure. Come on, bitch. Oh, sorry. You can see the emotion behind this. I won! Yes! We did it! We did it! We beat Double Dragon 3